Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. It's Thursday. I'm not working today. This afternoon I will go over to my daughter's house for a visit. I am having a bad case of the I don't wanna. I have two current works in progress. I have my version 2.0 of my April monster. I have the body done. I need to make the arms, the legs, the eyebrows, and the horns, and sew them together and see if I like them, to see if I should proceed with the pattern as currently written. I just hit a wall. I don't wanna work on him, because once I finish him, if I like it, then I've got to make the changes to the pattern and get it all typed up and do the pictures and send it out. Yeah. Second work in progress is my Ami Book Challenge for this month. It is a reversible penguin. I am at the point now where I'm doing the color changes for the belly. I don't wanna. Color changes on every row for about 30 rows. Wah, wah, wah. So, today I am doing a rotation. I also have a current puzzle proofing assignment that I'm working on. I need to do at least 3 pages today. So, 1 page of puzzles. Then I will work for 15 minutes on one of the 2 projects I just mentioned. And then I will do an Etsy listing. Take one of these guys from the shelf. PJ Pals, Charlie Horse. He needs to go into the light box. Okay, I'm going to take him off the shelf. I'm going to put him here so he's 4 feet closer to the light box. He's going to go in there. He's going to get his time in the light box. And then I'm going to do an Etsy listing with him. And then after those 3 steps are accomplished, I get 15 minutes for a free-for-all. Just do whatever I want. If I want to start a fun, quick little project, go for it. 15 minutes free-for-all, then back to step 1 again. Well, I am the queen. Let's insert a crown here. The queen of procrastination and rabbit trails. I get halfway through my first round and I decide I'm going to pull all of my crochet hooks from, let's see, there's some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different locations. Pull all the hooks, sort them out by size, count them all up, and make a video about how many crochet hooks I have. Some of you are probably thinking, if I made a video about how many crochet hooks I have, it'd be 10 seconds long. Well, I have 60 crochet hooks that I could find. And I know there are some in project bags, because my favorite size, I think I only had 3 in the sorting. I got more than that. So there's some that are stuck. Some that are hidden away in the depths. So I am going to, first, it was good. It was good to clean up around my chair and search for these. I found 2 clicker counters. I found 4 stitch markers. I found the tube of bent tip needles. A couple years ago, I bought a set of 12 bent tip sewing needles on Amazon. Came in this little test tube type thing. And I try to only have 1 out at a time. And then when I lose that one, then I'll get another one out of the tube. Well, I've been doing pretty well. I haven't lost the purple one that I'm currently using. There's a green one and a blue one that I've already lost. I haven't lost it, but I was like, I have no idea where that test tube of needles went to. If I lose one, I'm not going to be able to replace it. I found it. I found it. If I do, if future, like 2 years down the road, if I lose the purple one and I need to find it and I'm going nuts trying to figure it out, I will leave myself a note here in this video. It's in the Tim Hortons cup with the big needles. Okay, there, it's down in that cup. I also found like a 5-inch plastic yarn needle. That might come in handy when I'm sewing stuff together and I want to have an extra long reach. What else did I find? I feel like I found a bunch of stuff that I was like, oh, that's where that went to. Okay, first of all, I'm going to just sit back here and I will fill the screen with the various pictures. I took pictures of the needles from, or the, not needles, the hooks, from the smallest bunches up to the biggest ones. So I'll put the pictures up for a few seconds each and just like edit in over it what that picture has. Okay? So what should I do? Should I like do the Jeopardy theme or something? Maybe I'll just be quiet for a few seconds. Okay. This is pretty much the box that I have to put back. At one point, I got a set that goes, I think, from B to L. And guess which one is missing? My favorite size, F. So that's probably in a project bag someplace. But this is great because this, if I'm going on a trip and I don't know if I'm going to use worsted weight, if I'm going to put two together, if the worsted weight is going to be thick or thin, I just pop this in my craft bag and I can work on just about anything. I did go through a stage. So I have 2 here, 3 here, where I tried making my own hooks. Because if it's just a plain hook, this one's plastic, but if it's just a plain hook like this, it cramps my hand if I'm working for too long. I like having a handle on my hook, an ergonomic handle. So I went through a stage where I got yellow, purple, and black polymer clay, and I tried making my own handles. They're okay. They're better than a plain hook. They're not as good as some of my other hooks. I did, like this is J, I punched the letter into the bottom of them. I don't use these very often. These are like the bottom of the barrel for what I use. When it comes to an F hook, this is my favorite. Put over here where it's... This was a $50 hook. I had won a contest and got a 50% off coupon. So it was $25 plus shipping from an Etsy shop, which no longer sells hooks. But just there's something about the weight of it, and it's so smooth. And there's this flat section here where my thumb lies as I'm working. This is my favorite hook. It is an F hook, and I use it a lot. At one point, I got a bunch of plastic hooks that I thought, oh, they'll be easier on my hand. No, I need the ergonomic handles. I do like, until I put it so it doesn't show, the bamboo wooden handles. I have those in a few sizes, and they're a good fit for my hand. They're nice and lightweight. I went through a spending spree at one point. Like, I want to buy something. I want to buy something pretty. So I got myself a couple of fancy wooden hooks. This one is 3.5. This one I think is 4.0. I don't really use them all that much. I don't know why. Maybe I should put them out where they're more readily available. I did get a set of hooks from Temu that are 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 millimeter. I know the 6 millimeter I'm going to take down to Pennsylvania when I go next weekend. A week from Saturday, I have a show down in Pennsylvania by my daughter's house. I'm going to take that one down. My 7-year-old granddaughter, she's 7.5 now, is trying to learn to crochet, and I'm thinking if she used a bigger hook and a little bit thicker yarn, it might be easier for her to see her stitches. So I'm going to try another crochet lesson with a bigger hook for her. But these are a little short for my hands, so I don't use them as often. Like there's a comparison of the length. Like the handle is longer, but there's not as much hook showing, and it just seems a little awkward to my hand size. Maybe if I had a smaller hand, it would work better. That's why I'm going to take one down to my granddaughter. A couple of one and onlys. This is my one and only Furls hook. I got it in an H because I had heard, like with Furls hooks, the resin ones you don't want to use for amigurumi. If you're crocheting really tightly, you might snap it. So I got the bigger hook. I figured, okay, scarves and things that I'm making. I like the way it feels in my hand and all that, but it's like, it's an expensive hook. I'm afraid I'm going to break it. I don't use an H hook all that much. So here's another H hook that I don't use all that much. I got one of those light up hooks, and I don't even think it, no, battery's dead. I just didn't really like it. I thought as I used it in a semi-dark room, it was like making these weird shadows on the wall across from me that really distracted me. So I just, it's still got a good feel in my hand, and if I was working on a project that needed an H hook, I might use it, but I don't think I'm going to replace the battery. I'm just not. If I want lighting, I would get my neck light and focus it right on my work so that like the neck light is pointing down, not playing shadows on the wall. Okay, this is another F hook. I just picked this up at one of the craft stores for a couple bucks. I thought it was sort of pretty, but the thing is with this hook, as you're working on it, oops, can't get it to go. Here we go. As you're working on it, the hook will slide out of the sleeve. Oops, earthquake. No, I hit my microphone cord. So every once in a while, every couple rows, you gotta stop and like push it back down in. So I'm wondering if I put a little bit of hot glue on it, but I don't want to get hot glue right around the neck because then it's going to snag on stuff. Just live with it. Where's the, okay, these two. I picked these two up. I don't know what, I don't even remember where I got them, but they're E and G. So both sides of my favorite hook size. So that if I work with a lightweight worsted yarn, I can go with E. If it's a heavier worsted one, I'll go with G. And it's just, they're so distinctive from the other hooks that it's easier for me to like, oh, this yarn's pretty thin. I need an E. So rather than rooting through all of these other hooks and trying to find one that's an E, I know that it's one of these two. I think this one's the E. Yep. E, G. Anything else I can tell you about to delay my going out and no, I'm not going to go out and work on stuff. I'm going to go over to the Lightbox and I'm going to take pictures of Charlie Horse and I'm going to get him listed on Etsy. I'm going to get back to my list. I'm going to be a good girl now that I've had my little video break. Oh, but first I have to go get all these crochet hooks back into the little spinny thing. I think it was, I don't know if it was Dollar Tree or Five Below. I got this little spinning makeup organizer and I put the hooks in there. So as I'm sitting in my chair, I can just reach up and grab a hook. Yep. 60 crochet hooks. Well, I know there's more than 60. I counted 60. I have one hook. And there aren't even all in this box. The really big ones I already put in that Tim Hortons cup that the needles are in. So the great big hooks are in the same thing as the tiny little needles. Reminding myself for the future. I know I have a wooden hook that's about 1 foot long and it's huge. I think my other biggest hook that I've got is like a P. This one might be S or T or something like that. I mean, it's huge. I don't know where it is right now. And like I said, I know there are some in project bags. And there's one in my desk. I know there's one in the desk because when I go to take pictures in the Lightbox, if I see like, oh no, there's a string hanging out. I need to get that tucked in before I take pictures. I have an F hook in there. It was a, what was it like? It was sort of like this brown handle, simple hook that I picked up someplace, and it doesn't feel good in my hand, so it went in the drawer. Okay, I am somehow over my time that my phone usually allows me to upload videos, so time to go.